Okay, the next thing we're going to do is what happens if we're missing one of the components. Now we know I equals PRT. That was one of the things we just talked about. So if we were to write this out, I equals PRT. We can actually put that as one of our triangle equations. I is made up of three components, P, R, and T, where you have the principal, the rate, or in other words, the percentage amount, and last thing is T, or time, and it's always in years. And this will give you the interest. Now the interest is the extra money you have to pay or the extra money you get. This is not the final amount. We're going to be doing more with the final amount a little bit later. So when we change this and we solve for P, we see that P equals I over rate multiplied by the time. We see it from the triangle. So let's go ahead and start on this. Determine the quantity of money that must be invested. When it says quantity of money that must be invested, that means that you're going to be looking for the principal. So we're looking for P for 280 days. Okay, that's our time, but instead of putting days, we're going to put it over 365 to put it in our equation, because remember, it must be in years. At 6%, that would be our rate, to earn 120 dirhams. So this key word, earn 120 dirhams, means that this is my I. So to solve this, I have to do I over RT. So 120 divided by my rate, which is 6%, times 280 over 365. Now this is actually why we're so very careful about using the fraction button on our calculator, because if you were to round it and approximate out the decimal, you might not get this right answer. So we're going to go ahead and set this up as a fraction and put 120 on top. Now on the bottom, we have 6% multiplied by another fraction, 280 over 365. And we have to move the cursor over and hit the parentheses button so that we can see the two fractions on top of each other. And we hit equals, and we get that the principal is 18,250 divided by 7. That doesn't help us. We hit SD, and we get that the amount that must be invested is 2,607.14 dirhams. Okay, so let's try the next one. What principal, so we know we're going to be finding P, will earn interest of 5,720? So that's my I at 10.25%. That's very easy because it always has the percent sign for rate. In 8 months. Okay, well 8 months. Instead of putting 8 months, I'm going to change this to 8 over 12 for my T. Because remember, I always want it in years. So let's go ahead and solve this. We know P equals the interest, 5,720, divided by 10.25% times 8 over 12. So we're going to put that in our calculator just as we see it. So 5,720 over, open parentheses, 10.25% sign, and then another fraction, 8 over 12. Move the cursor over, close parentheses, and hit equals. And we get that it should be 83,707.30. Well, it says 31.7, but that 7 makes the 1 round up. So we actually have 83,707.32 dirhams.